Let's take a look at how we can access the Symbology JSON definition for feature layers in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. So open up the Symbology JSON.py script from the Symbology folder. When we create our feature layers programmatically, we did not assign any symbology to any of the layers. ArcGIS Online automatically assigned default symbology, as we can see here. In this video, we're going to see how we can access the JSON definition for those symbologies using the feature layer object properties property and also the feature layer renderer property. We first access ArcGIS Online using the GIS class and supplying in the home string. We'll assign our GIS object a variable called AGOL. We're going to use our GIS object and the content manager get method supplying in our feature service item ID. The get method will return an item object. Now first up, I'm going to access the item object get data method. This will return a dictionary. Our feature service item will currently return an empty dictionary. Now this is important because if that dictionary is not empty, then it is that item data dictionary that controls the symbology and other elements of the feature layer, and we're going to see this more in the next section. But for now, I just want to introduce you to this concept. I'm going to run this script as is. We're going to see that we're going to get an empty dictionary printed to screen. We can see our empty dictionary. Now I want to pop over to ArcGIS Online Assistant and show you the behind the scenes JSON for our current Park Trails feature service and also for another feature service in ArcGIS Online where that dictionary is not empty. Here I am in ArcGIS Online Assistant and I'm going to go to View and Items JSON and I want to view my Park Trails. Now on the right hand side we can see there is this description dialog and that is all we have. Now if I click into my county boundaries feature layer that I have here and scroll down, we have this data dialog. This is what the get data method for an item object is returning when that item object is a feature service. We can see here it has the layers, it has a layer definition, has the drawing info that contains the render. This renderer here is what controls the symbology. So if your feature service does not have the data, the symbology is controlled by the feature layer object. So let's head back over to our script. I'll comment out where we're printing the item data. I'll open up our first example. So for each feature layer object in our item object layers property, the layers property will return a list of feature layer objects. We want to print the feature layer name and we will also print the feature layer properties drawing info and the renderer property from the drawing info. And this will print out the Symbology JSON definition for each layer in our feature service. I'll run the script. Our script is complete. Let's take a look at what was printed to screen. First up is our trail viewpoints, which is a point feature layer. The renderer type is simple, and we have this symbol definition where the type is Esri PMS, which is picture marker symbol, and that is that nice little red dot that we see in the symbology. The picture marker has a width of 15 and a height of 15. We then have our Park Trails, which is a linear feature layer. The type again is simple. The symbol has a type of Esri SLS, which is simple line symbol. The style of the line is solid. The color is black, so we have red, green, blue and alpha for transparency, and it has a width of 1. We then have our park boundaries, which is a polygon feature layer. Again, the type is simple and we have our symbol definition. Our type is Esri SFS, a simple fill symbol. The style is solid, so we have our greeny color. We have our RGB and a slight transparency set by the alpha. We also have an outline. Type is Esri SLS for simple line symbol. The outline is a solid line, and we see our RGB and alpha values, and it has a width of 0.75. And we can see similar for county boundaries, that is also a polygon feature layer. There is an alternate way for accessing the renderer information that defines the symbology for a feature layer. I'll comment out our first example, and in our second example we are going to use the renderer property for a feature layer object. So once more, we are iterating over feature layer objects returned from the item object layers property, and for each feature layer we're going to print the name, and then we're also going to print the feature layer dot renderer property. Now, the documentation for this renderer property says that you can set or get the renderer. I'm telling you now, you cannot set the renderer using this property, you can only get it. So I'll run the script once more, and we should get a similar output to what we have just seen, except it is going to return each renderer definition as a dictionary rather than that neat JSON that we saw printed to the screen. So I'll run the script. Our script is complete, and we can see we got very similar information, except this time it was returned as Python dictionaries rather than JSON. So we have our trail viewpoints, our park trails, our park boundaries, and our county boundaries symbology definitions printed to screen. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series, and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.